What's going on, everybody? It's Kevy, that hard Tar Heel fan here. Congratulations to our women's volleyball team for sweeping the swamp. I want to start off with that. Now we'll gonna go to Carolina football here. Where do we start? Can we judge the defense by how it played against UNT Charlotte compared to TCU? I have mixed feelings toward that, but I don't think so. I mean, UNC Charlotte's terrible, but Carolina's offense is probably going to be a bigger problem than the defense. I think they're both going to be problems this year, but the offense, it just does not look like it's going anywhere under Gio Lopez. I believe, this is my belief, I believe that Carolina's offense would be much better with Max Johnson. That's just me. Think about it now. He's got Power 5 quarterback experience. I know it's limited, but he's played at LSU. He's played at Texas A&M. There was another one too, I think he's played at, but he knows what he's doing. You know, and we've only had him out there for like a game, not even a full game, maybe a half a game, if that, against Minnesota last year. Bill Belichick needs to reevaluate things. He needs to trust. He needs to try to mix it up a little bit. And the only way to do that is to have Gio out there, for a little bit, and then put Max Johnson in for a little bit, sort of rotate in and out. But he's not doing that. Even when Gio Lopez is struggling and can't throw the ball 5 yards down the field, he just sticks with him. And then he sticks to the run game. And then when that vanishes, that's when Carolina hits a brick wall, like it did against TCU. And it's probably why the spread is only 8 points against Richmond, even though it's at home, because Belichick is stubborn. I think it should be higher, and it would be higher if Max Johnson was the starting quarterback. I think they would be a better football team. There's no doubt about it. In my mind, I believe they would be. But the only way for us to find out for sure is for him to start. But Belichick is stubborn. He is a stubborn coach. Maybe this is going to be something that's going to take some time. I don't know. But the offense is in shambles. I mean, right now it's probably right there with Stanford. I mean, in offensive efficiency, it has to be, because I mean, we only got 7 against TCU. We only scored 20 against one of the worst teams, not in just the group of 5 or whatever, but we're talking about in all of college football, or Division I, that is. They got an FCS opponent coming up this weekend against Richmond. They don't do the spread. You don't see it, but you can Google it or ChatGPT it. If you got a subscription to ChatGPT, you can do that and you'll get the spread. But It's only 8 points, actually. And why it's only 8 points is because of Belichick's stubbornness to veer away from Gio Lopez or mix it up some, put Max Johnson in there. I know they got some injuries. Every team has injuries, everybody. So I don't want to hear any Carolina fan complain about, well, we've got injuries. We've got injuries. Everybody does. Ohio State, they've got injuries. You can't use that as an excuse when you've got 80-something players out there on the field. It's different than what it is in basketball. Now, in basketball, all it takes is one star to go down to ruin the whole season. Doesn't matter if it's college or whether it's the NBA. That's not how it works in college football. It's not how it works in the NFL, unless it's at the quarterback position. If it's the quarterback position, those are the most two important. That is the most important position in college football and in the NFL, is the quarterback. How is his accuracy? How far can he throw downfield? And also, the special teams, they did get a little bit better against Charlotte, the field goal and stuff, but still, you got to punt the ball more than 30 yards down the field, Carolina. You have to. I mean, you just got to get the ball further than 30, 40 yards downfield. You need at least 50, 55 yard punts at times. Maybe sometimes 60. When it goes beyond 60, what I call those punts are house punts. Bam! He hit a big one. I'm not seeing that out of Carolina's kicker. Punter, I'm not. And it frustrates me. It's really frustrating. And then in the TCU game, he mishandled the ball. Almost got it blocked. That probably would have been a block 6. Probably would have been 55-7 or whatever the score. Man, 55-14. I mean, that game was just that bad. It was worse than Mac Brown. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. And then I hear today, Bill Belichick says, we have a lot of work to do. Not what you want to hear going into week 3. It's just, that tells me that there's some issues here on offense. There's some issues, maybe a little bit in the coaching staff. You know, that maybe is going to take some time to figure out. But the very last thing that you want is, especially with Carolina's schedule this year, is to have a 4-8 campaign. And after the Charlotte game, I said, you know what? And Carolina fans, I hate to say this, barring a drastic improvement, this is what I said to myself. I believe I'm sitting here watching a 4-8 football team. Do I think they'll beat Richmond this weekend? Yes. That means I only gave them one ACC win. Maybe I'm a little bit overreacting to it, but Charlotte's terrible, guys. And we look awful. Charlotte is a team that Ohio State could score 100 on. Charlotte is a team that Alabama could score 100 on. Even in Alabama's down year this year, they could score 100 on them. So what does that say about us? I know Virginia Tech's struggling. I know that. But they scored 20 points against Vandy. That's a lot better than 20 points against Charlotte. And there's a lot that has to be worked on. The offensive line has got to get better. It has to get better. It has to block so we can establish our running game, because I really believe that that's going to be the only thing that's going to, unless he goes to Max Johnson, because Gio Lopez, yes, I know he's a dual threat quarterback, but he has not shown me the ability to throw the ball down the field on a consistent basis beyond 10 yards. He hasn't shown that to me. Didn't show it in, except for the first drives. What is it? What is the difference in the first drives of these games and the rest of the game? Is it Freddie Kitchens? I don't know. Maybe so. Is it Bill Belichick? Maybe so. I don't know. But I would like to know what it is. Carolina fans would like to know what it is too. Because it's getting old. And it's only week 3. We want to see a more established team throw the ball down the field against a team that is inferior to them, which is Richmond this weekend. That's a team that they should beat 38-10 or something like that right there. That's more satisfying. But this here 20-3, showing against Charlotte, that didn't sit well with me. The defense, yes, it sit well because it was Charlotte. But the offense, no, I can't. I can't sit on that. There's just no way. And the prices for the Richmond game, those prices used to be like $8, $10, right around that, They're going for $60 to $70. And I don't think I would, I really do not think I would pay that much money to go see this team. I just don't. I mean, I love them, but you got to show a little bit of love to me too. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, if you're not playing well, fans are not going to show up. It happened in the Mac Brown era. And if they start to looking consistently this bad on offense, then they're looking at 4-8 right in the face. There's no question about it. And then, we're wandering around here, scrambling, picking up the pieces of what could have been. Now, next year, they got one of the top 15 recruiting classes. And they got like a really good, they'll probably have a really good transfer portal. So I think next year they'll be a lot better. But they need a quarterback that can see over the offensive line. When your offensive lineman is 5 to 6 inches taller than your quarterback is, to me, that's a problem. That is an issue. Brings me back to Max Johnson. Once again, I trust Max Johnson's arm more than I do Gio Lopez. Hear me now. Hear me now. I trust his arm more than I do Gio Lopez. Doesn't mean he's going to start against Richmond. No. No, he's not. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. I'll go ahead and rule that out right now. He's not starting against Richmond. He's probably not even going to start against UCF. But if he don't start against Clemson and that defensive front line, can Carolina score a point? Can they even go down and get a field goal with Gio Lopez? If he don't tighten it up, if he don't straighten it, if he don't get his shit together, is it possible that they get shut out by Clemson? Maybe like 10-0 because Clemson's terrible too. It's a good possibility. Because even as bad as Cade Klubnik is, he hasn't been as bad as Gio Lopez. At times he's looked like it. But we're talking about somebody that was down 16-3 against Troy at halftime the other day. And it seemed like it took them half the third quarter to get going, Clemson. But they only won 27-16. I mean, Clemson's not very good. Let me just say that right now. And that's the only ranked team that Carolina's got to play this year. And I don't think that Clemson can beat Georgia Tech. At Georgia Tech, I don't. So that's on my upset pick this week. That's one of my upset picks. Georgia Tech over Clemson. You heard it here first. I think Carolina gets the job done against Richmond. I'm going 27-14, or 27-20. I don't see them getting above 30 at all this year. Unless they start making changes. Bill Belichick has got to come out of some of his stubborn ways. And I don't see that happening, unfortunately. I wish it would. But the reality is, he's stubborn. But he's just going to have to do a better job coaching the rest of the season. I'm not that I'm ready to fire him. No. Not ready to fire him. No, I mean, even if they go 4-8 this year, I'm not ready to fire him. No. 3 years in a row of it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I want to see a better product on the field on Saturdays. That's what I want to see. I want to see a product that cares about that uniform that they wear. The name on that jersey. Like the women's volleyball team did against Florida. Play for the jersey. Play for that name on that jersey. Play with pride, dignity. Not just because you're out there getting a bunch of NIL money. Gio Lopez, get your shit straight, man. Just get your shit straight. Quit playing lackluster offensively. And Freddie Kitchens, start making adjustments. Please do something on offense. Make adjustments. I mean, and Bill Belichick, if Gio Lopez ain't the guy, give it to Max Johnson. Give it to Max Johnson. You heard it here first. Trust Max Johnson way more. But maybe Gio Lopez will pick it up and play up to his $8 million NIL money. I'm just so frustrated right now because I expected it a little bit better this year. I expected 7-5, 8-4, but from what I'm seeing right now, that's not in the playing cards. And it's just a lot of stuff to talk about with this team that I could go on forever. And I could go on for hours that, I don't have time for. And ideas that I thought could fix the team, that could fix everything that's wrong with this team right now. But you got to take it one step at a time with this team. Fix the offense first. And then fix the defense. Fix the special teams. You can do that in 4 weeks. Just has to be done. Adjustments have to be made. Especially before they play Clemson, who has probably the number 2 best defensive line, or I would say a top 5. I wouldn't give them Ohio State now or LSU, because obviously LSU's been that route with Clemson this year at Death Valley, and they took care of business. You don't even have to be that great against Clemson. Just be average. Slightly above average. You don't have to be out there throwing darts like you used to against Clemson, because Clemson's they're not Clemson anymore. They're not. And why? Because their coach, Dabo, refuses to use the transfer portal. How many times do I got to say that to Clemson fans? He's not going to ever utilize the transfer portal like he should for a program like Clemson. He's still stuck in the old ways, and he's not going to come out of it. But you've got to get better before that game, because if you can go out there and beat Richmond, and then you can go on the road to what's going to be a tough place to win at, make no doubt about it, at UCF, if you can squeeze out that game, and then you come home, and then you play Clemson, and you pull off a miracle. And I'm saying it's doable because Clemson's not very good. Then you're talking about a 8 to 9 win campaign. Maybe even 10. But we've got a lot of work that has to be done. There's a lot of improvement that has to be done. Receivers have to run the right routes. The offensive play calling has got to be a genius. That's just where it's at. And the defense, they got to play as good as they did against Charlotte. I know Charlotte is a big difference than TCU. They got to play better. Don't tell me that Clemson's as good as TCU, because they're not. Not even close. I don't care that they're ranked 12th. Clemson's not even a top 20 team. They won't be after Saturday. And I'm sure there's a lot of Clemson fans that's probably doubting their team going into Atlanta. I would too, because that's a pretty daggone rough looking football team outside of that defense. And the thing about Clemson is, the longer you keep that defense on the field, the longer Carolina's defense, when it gets to that game, and if they can win the 2 games in between, the longer they keep that defense on the field, the more wore out it's going to get. Clemson's defense will wear down at the end, just like it did against LSU. It can't hold but so long because the offensive line at Clemson is atrocious. It's just as bad as Carolina's. It's probably one of the worst in the ACC. But we'll get to that game when it gets here. We're just going to deal with the Richmond game right now. We have to show up at 3:30 Saturday on. I'll be watching it on ACC Network. I can't wait. I want to see some improvement. I want to see us win at least 37-10. But my gut wrench feeling says 27-20 Carolina. And that's what I'm going with. 27-20. Carolina. I'll go at the 30-20 Carolina. I'll give them the spread. But it's got to be better. Things have got to get better. That's just it. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And I will talk to you guys either before the game Saturday or after the game Saturday. See you then. Go Heels.